This money can also still be used for any eventual like for example, you can also, if the situation is bad, you can cross to Kenya. As probably you look for a way how to get a visa, you know? Because in that route to Kenya, you go by bus, it's not as worse as going through the airport. Because now the airport, the security is a little bit tight. But if you go by bus, cross the border, they don't check. Because now for us, as East African community, we can cross anywhere, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, with no problems. So this money can help lead someone to go to another country as you look for another quickest means possible. If someone has a visa, then this money can still pay a ticket for someone to come to Holland, to come to Sweden, if there is a possibility, and so forth and so on. But not to everybody, because tickets are quite expensive, you know it. So what we prefer in most cases is just to relocate you from one town to the other town. You go to a town where you are not known. It's much better as we look for ways how you can move in. This is how this money is used. The last thing here is to provide legal support. Since we intend to challenge this bill into courts of law. You know, like already we have mentioned, or the president has mentioned, there are quite a number of implications. First of all, there was not enough quorum. We're here to prove that. Because we asked for the original copy now of this bill that they refused to give us. There's a lot of pressure, which is coming from all over the world, including you people. You might have not been doing, but Sweden, as you Swedish, it's working left and right. That's number one. Number two, usually the bill has to be in agenda. That's very obvious, which was not there. Sadly, we already have existing law which criminalizes homosexuality act. Why do you again introduce another law? So we have a team working around the clock to take the government to police. We also have another case already still pending. We are still challenging. We want the Constitutional Court to have a review and revoke the past bill. So, but we need money because now these people or these law firms who are working with us, if the bill is passed, they will also be in danger. So someone to act or even go to police, because sometimes now you cannot go to police alone, you also need to go with your lawyer. We have a lawyer. You need to pay the lawyer will say, give me my part first, patia. In Kiswahili, patia, give. Before he leaves his chambers, you have to pay. And where does that money come from? It has to be a contribution. So, the last thing, I would like to encourage all the allies, partners, to work with us. Most importantly, kindly donate in a private way, in any way you want, to support the LGBT movement. For God and my country, thank you for listening. Sam is my name, Director for Queer Youth Uganda, and also a Vice Chairperson for Pan-Africa ILGA Africa. Welcome.
If there's anybody who has any questions, but first, can you tell them why you named the organization Queer? This is really good.
I don't know what the word means. Think of that. Why we named this organization Queer? Actually, I don't remember.
Are you?
But you know, we looked for a viable word to be used. It was not possible to find. Then one of us, my deputy, you know, she's a model. She said, I think we should call it Queer. And then David was like, yeah, it's Queer, it's good because nobody can tell, you know, what it means. Nobody can tell what it means. It's just, we are queer and we are here. And our motto is absolute queer. So, we are queer and we are here. What else? It's just that. Yeah.
But, oh, Sam's open for questions.
Thank you. It is really, really interesting to listen to you. I wanted to ask you just a few things, if you can add, like, because I don't know much about Uganda at all. Like, how did you come to that situation, like 40 years ago or 30, I don't know how old you are, maybe 30, or, you know, what happened and then why, you know, why it came to this crazy point? And then I wanted to ask you...
Let me first answer that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not good. Well, that's actually a very good question. Nobody has ever asked me that question. Yeah, 40 years ago I wasn't there, unfortunately. But from the history, looking at the background of my great-parents and the race and so forth and so on, in 40 years ago, I think what was important is there is what we call traditional norms. People used to believe a lot in tradition. A lot. Every society. You know, in Africa it's different from you guys. We have what we call a society and we have the community. And in the community, in the society actually it's much bigger. In the society that's when you have the clan member, clans, different clans within one society. But in different clans there, it means you have different tribes representing that. Or it can be the same tribe but a different clan. What the other clan believes is not what you believe. But the common goal is here. Norms must be respected. That was number one. So you could not hear the issue of gay. What I remember that it was pronouncing is, because I grew up in a small village and I used to, there were always people who are not getting married. So people say, for me, I'm impotent. You know, how do they call it? Impotent? Mm-hmm. So meaning this person is gay. Because you cannot be important and then have wet dreams. Has that ever happened? I don't think. You still have feelings for something. The other